Spotlight on Berkeley Heights is provided by funding from DeFabio Chiropractic, where integrity, thoroughness, and a friendly staff have been servicing the community since 1985. DeFabio Chiropractic is where an accurate diagnosis leads to rapid pain relief and better function. Located on Springfield Avenue in Berkeley Heights, it's the natural choice for your healthcare needs.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, and welcome to Spotlight on Berkeley Heights, the pulse of the community. We have a very exciting show today and a very diverse show. We're going to be talking about everything that's going to unify and bring our township together, make it beautiful on more ways than one, and doing some things we really should have done about 40 years ago, as well as some current polarizing topics. So stay tuned, it's going to be very interesting and very diverse. But being a positive guy, let's start off with some positive things. We're going to talk about the beautification project that we have going on in the downtown. Two really exciting things are coming on. And we have beautification committee members Midge Vincendes and Ron Loria with us tonight. Midge, Ron, we appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you for having us. Very happy to be here.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. We're right back at you guys. A couple of big projects are coming down. Ron, we're going to hit one right with you. This clock, it's not really a clock tower, but we're trying to get some clocks downtown. What is this all about?
Okay, the Downtown Beautification Committee has decided to put together a little bit of a fundraiser in order to put a downtown clock. It's made by a very famous clockmaker that does a lot of clocks in the area. The clock is a four-sided clock. We're going to be selling faces of the clock to different businesses and families within the community, and the clock also has a four-stanchion mount that will enable people to donate money and have their names put on the stanchion as well. The proceeds of the clock will go towards installing the clock, and with the leftover monies, the intention is to do various projects, downtown beautification projects. We're currently doing some holiday flags with some of the proceeds that we would get from the clock, and we're also looking forward to putting up American flags from the VFW Hall all the way down to Memorial Park, or actually to Peppertown Park, where the clock is going to be placed for the Memorial Day Parade.
We're hoping to also get some Berkeley Heights banners that will fly all year long and really symbolize what it's like to live in this beautiful town and the charm. And really, when we were asked to be on this committee, we have very personal feelings, more so because I was born here and Ron's lived here for quite some time. And to us, Berkeley Heights is small town beauty and charm.
So that's a really good point. So how does the clock fit in, Midge? How does a clock fit into beauty and charm in Berkeley Heights? Why the clock?
The clock is the vehicle, and it will in itself be beautiful. It will in itself create charm, but the proceeds will then be used, as Ron said, for holiday decorations, for landscape and trees and beautiful nuances throughout the town. Right. We'll have benches, and hopefully going forward our streetscape will start to create a more uniform look.
That would be nice.
And we all want that. I know everyone I talk to would like that. And the clock is the first of hopefully a few ideas that we can use to do this.
So now, Ron, the clock, is it solar? Is it electric wired? Is it hardwired? Do you know anything about it?
The clock actually will be hardwired.
Okay.
But,
so it should run without any
run.
problems?
It should run. We're currently working with the local power utility company to look at ways in order to power the clock. It is a programmed clock, and it will reset itself during daylight savings time.
Oh, very nice.
It will be lit with LEDs, which are low energy use. Being a member of the Environmental Commission, that was something that we were kind of happy about. And it's pretty self-sufficient. I mean, once the clock is installed, very little maintenance.
Excellent.
There is some programming that'll be involved by the clock manufacturer, and once it's set up, it should be pretty much trouble-free.
How many businesses are we looking to come on board?
Well, we're looking to
or
have
families.
Well, each side of the clock, we're looking for a number of what's the total number? 25 per side of the base. There's four bases.
So it's very premium. So there's only 400 spots, 100 spots available per clock.
Levels of participation. As Ron said, there are corporate faces that, or really anyone is open to take a face of the clock. But then also throughout these plaques, we figured that people in town who have lived here a long time, people who are new to the town, people who have memories, that they would just love to see their name on the clock, or a certain person in memoriam, or really any number of ways that people can participate. And we have a website that people can go to for this.
Which is?
Actually, if you go to the actual Berkeley Heights municipal township website, there is a link on there not only to purchase flags, but also to make a donation to the clock or have your name emblazoned on the
And
stanchion.
all of the details are on there.
We're going to transition to that flag concept in a moment, but we talked about it before, and I don't know if our viewers are privy to the fact that there's more than one clock in the works. It's my understanding the first clock is going to go in Peppertown Park.
Yes.
Correct.
But that's just the first clock.
Correct.
Midge, where are the other clocks going to go?
Well, it is our hope that at the end of the town, there will be another one sort of near where the sign is, Welcome to Berkeley Heights, in that area, correct?
Right.
And then right now, that's where we're at, is with those two prospects in mind. But
Excellent.
going forward, the hope is that we'll just have clocks that are in different situations, different places that people can see and know that they're all part
Identify
of
with the town. Wonderful.
The clocks being on Springfield Avenue at the opposite ends of the town would be a two-sided clock, with a face facing
Each
incoming
direction.
and outgoing traffic.
Right.
Wonderful.
The Peppertown clock will have four faces, as we mentioned. Two sides will say Berkeley Heights, and the other two sides will say Peppertown Park. To
Cool.
commemorate Peppertown.
Very
They
nice.
really are beautiful. And
Very
at
nice.
first, when we heard about the clocks, none of us really knew exactly what they were. And when we saw the clocks, I have to say, we all sat at the meeting and said, wow, they're really
That's
beautiful.
cool. Nice.
So if everyone could keep in mind that it's not just a clock, it really is a clock in the hopes that it will reshape our town in ways that will benefit everyone.
Sure. I like that idea. And
So-
reshaping the town, we're going back, Bill Rapp, excuse me. Bill Rapp with the VFW in town here. We got something pretty cool coming down the pike for our veterans in town, don't we?
Yes, we do. We have the Memorial Day Parade, which is coming up on May 27th. It'll begin at 9:30 in the morning, right at the corner of Snyder and Locust, very close to the VFW post. And for those who don't know where that is, if they know where the rescue squad is, we're right behind
There you
it.
go.
But we'll start there, and then we'll work our way down into the Memorial Field, Memorial Park.
However, this year, the Beautification Committee has come up with a great idea.
Yes.
And that's what?
And that is to line the entire parade route with flags. American flags that will go up on Memorial Day and will stay up through Veterans Day in the fall. And this is a lasting memorial to all of our veterans, both living and those who have died in all the wars and conflicts.
Sure.
And as Bill had stated to me prior to our meeting here tonight, it also is the 50th anniversary of the culmination of the Vietnam War, so it holds a particular
Exactly.
poignancy
it's
to
it's
us.
about time we really honored our vets from that war.
Well, I'm very honored to have been selected as the Grand Marshal of the parade this year.
Very nice.
I served for 2 years over in Vietnam from '69 to '71 as an officer, and it is a very humbling experience to do that and to represent all of the Vietnam veterans for this very wonderful ceremony.
What branch of service were you in?
I was in the Army. I was with Special Forces over in Vietnam.
Wow, Special Forces. Great. Well, thank you very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. So, Ron, how are we going to get these flags on the route, Ron?
Well, again, if you visit the Berkeley Heights website, there is a link there to enable various levels of donation. The donations are $50 for a flag, and there's other levels. There's a flag level, which is 1 to 2 flags, a stripes level, which is 3 to 4, and a stars level, which is 5+ flags. So at the link, they'll give you an opportunity to send a check in, and the flags will be purchased for that purpose and mounted along the parade route.
And the goal is to use the flags year after year, correct, Mitch?
Year after year, we would like our town to always be patriotic, not just at a certain time of the year. And we are calling it the Avenue of Patriots.
I like that. I like that.
I like that too, very much.
And we'll know exactly what time it is when we're on the Avenue of Patriots.
You'll
correct?
look at the clock and you'll look at the flag.
That's right. At 9:30, Go to the
9:30.
go to the parade. Go
There
to the
you go.
parade.
There you
So,
go.
Bill, anything else happening over at the VFW during the parade route time or over the summertime?
Well, we will have as many people as we can gather from the post, and we're inviting any and all veterans, no matter what war or conflict that they were in, or even if they're peacetime. If they've served in the military, we invite them to join us in the parade. We'll be right up at the beginning of it, so don't be late. But please come and join us and celebrate this very special day in all veterans' lives.
Well, it makes a lot of sense, and it's so nice to have Midge and Ron, you here, to help give the community that emphasis, that to be prideful in it, give back a little bit. You've already given quite a bit, as well as your colleagues that have and have not come back. It's us. It's our turn to show them we care. So let's get some flags up and let's sell some plaques on that clock. What do you guys say?
Absolutely.
Sounds
Let's
great.
do it.
So, Midge, what are some action steps people may need to know besides go to the website, make a pledge? How else can they help the Beautification Committee?
Really, the way that everyone can help is to be mindful and to look around the town. Think about what you would like to see in the town, and if you have comments and you know people who are on the committee or there's a way to get us any suggestions, we would love to hear that. Also, to know that there's progress being made already. Not that anyone didn't notice, but the decorations from years past were not up this holiday season. I don't know who noticed or didn't, but we are in the throes of creating something new. And the steps that it's going to take to do this and accomplish this is going to take some time. And just be there and look in the stores for information. We have flyers that are in some of the stores already, and know that we're on the job, we're on the case.
That's what we want to hear. Ron, what can we expect from the Environmental Commission and the Beautification Committee? You said you're on both committees.
That's correct.
What can we expect as that liaison?
That's correct. Well, going forward, there are some initiatives to try to work with standardizing the look of the downtown area. The Environmental Commission gets involved with reviewing plans of some of the new buildings and structures that are going up. And the whole focus of the Environmental Commission is just to enhance environmental sustainability and to make sure that any improvements that are being done in downtown kind of dovetail with our efforts. So, you know, I chose to act kind of as a liaison with the Environmental Commission and the Downtown Beautification Commission, and it's been very rewarding for me. I mean, there's been a number of opportunities for us to do some interesting things. So we're looking forward to it and looking to do some good things going forward.
Well, clearly we are, and I hope the viewers can understand it's all going to be budget neutral. All right, we're going to do all these flags, we're going to get these clocks in there, and it's not going to impact our tax base, and it's going to be things that are going to serve us for years and years to come. So, Midge, Ron, thank you very much for your time. Bill, I'm looking forward to seeing Memorial Day with 150 flags. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
150 flags.
We
along
could
the
always
parade
get
route.
more if they want, and then we could have a larger and a longer parade route next year.
Well, let's plan on it.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank
I'm
you.
Dr. Donald DeFabio. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about something a little more polarizing but seriously significant to the township. We'll be right back.
Humans may have been sitting since the caveman days, but apparently we're now overdoing something that's giving many of us chronic lower back pain. What? Driving. According to experts, millions of Americans experience the most common form of back pain, muscle tension, the result of drivers remaining in a static position while maintaining a heightened sense of awareness. The Foundation for Chiropractic Progress explains that driving requires constant alertness and tension, which can itself create the scenario for muscular pain. Extended periods of sitting can cause added pressure to the lumbar spine and compress surrounding soft tissue. Doctors of chiropractic are trained to improve structural positioning and can offer preventive expert advice. First, sit closer to the pedals, avoiding full leg extension, and keep arms bent slightly in the 10 and 2 position on the wheel. Second, never place bulky items in your back pocket. Third, break up long journeys into no more than 2-hour segments. And finally, place a pillow in the small of your back to improve posture. Learn more at yes2chiropractic.com.
Hi, welcome back to the show. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio. First of all, before we get started with our next segment, I want to thank the students over here at GL for filming tonight and producing and airing the show. We really appreciate it, so a special shout out to the TV production students over at GL. Thanks, we really appreciate it. The next segment of the show is going to be a little different. There's some things that have been brewing in town that, again, are a little more polarizing, and one of them is the new Berkeley Aquatic Center that's been proposed, actually not even in town, in Warren, but it is going to have an impact on Berkeley Heights. My next guest is Ira Jersey, a treasurer from the Stop the BAC Neighborhood Group. Ira, thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks, Dr. Don.
Now, what is the Stop the BAC Neighborhood Group? What is it?
Yeah, so we formed a neighborhood association which represents about 300 households in the Emerson Lane and Free Acres area. It's the area on the south side of town that will be most greatly impacted by the building of this 51,000 square foot building and 2 pools that are going to be, that has been proposed to be built on an area right at the exit of 78 at exit 40.
Yeah, over by Hillcrest and Emerson Lane there.
Correct.
So the association is essentially just homeowners in that area, or are there other people in town, members of the association?
We do have a few members from outside of that immediate area. We have some people from over off of Springfield Avenue and Snyder. We have a number of people in Warren, because this is in Warren, as you noted. And Warren, the people in Warren, both at the new Pulte community across Hillcrest Lane from Emerson Lane, as well as those 2 neighborhoods off of Emerson that are in Warren. I think a lot of people don't realize that there is a little tiny bit of Warren that's there off of Emerson Lane, and those people are as irate, or even more irate than I am, actually, about this proposed pool.
Why are they more irate?
Well, for a couple of reasons. One, they're worried about the fact that they purchased their homes knowing that there was supposed to be a residential community. And it was zoned residential, there were site plans that were residential, and most of us who purchased that in that area in the last 10 years had expected another small neighborhood with rather large lots and nice families and neighbors to move in. We weren't expecting a large commercial building that's going to be dumping their sewage into the Berkeley Heights sewer system, which apparently might have some very detrimental effects to the eco-environment of the sewage treatment plant, and that could cost us a lot of money. So now you have people in Berkeley Heights who are as upset, if not more upset, than the folks in Warren.
So what you're telling me, there's several layers here. From my perspective, and I honestly don't live in that area of town, is that I agree with you. I may not want a huge facility in my neighborhood and knock down all my old growth trees. And that's kind of a no-brainer. But you're telling me that there's other layers involved here, and it's not just we don't want it in my neighborhood, put the facility in someone else's neighborhood just like it was a correction facility or a dump.
Sure. Well,
okay, it sounds like there's other layers here.
There's many other layers, and you know, this is, quite frankly, this is in my backyard where I happen to live. When I wake up in the morning, I'll look out my window and I'll wind up seeing this Walmart-sized building behind my house. I'm not excited about that, but that's not my primary concern. My primary concerns are twofold. One is the cost to the taxpayers of Berkeley Heights for the use of the sewage treatment plant. And on May 7th, we're going to have a referendum, and I urge everyone to vote no on that, because there's the possibility that this could raise our taxes substantially. We may have to bond for a retrofit to our sewer facility. And if that's firstly. Secondly, this is bad precedent, where you have a private organization that's going to be asking us to vote to build a building and to change a contract that we had. Our town council has rejected the amendment to that contract because it's not good for the taxpayers of Berkeley Heights. And from a personal perspective, it is a little concerning to me too, for the safety of my 3 kids and the dozens of kids who live on our block and in our neighborhood, because there's no sidewalks on our area of Emerson Lane. Sure. And because of that, when we ride our bicycles and things like that, we have to be extra careful. And now you're talking about the potential for more traffic in that neighborhood. I know our opposition and the BAC folks have said, oh, well, you know, people are going to take 78 to get there. Let's face it, if you're going from Governor Livingston, you're probably not getting on at exit 43 and going to exit 40 to get to the BAC. You're taking Emerson Lane.
Well, apparently they're going to close that off. I mean, you have to at least give them a little bit of respect in saying that if they say they're going to close it off, they're going to close it off. So they may not be accurate traffic on your road, but it is going to bring more traffic through the area.
Yeah, sure.
Again, anybody can do whatever they want after there's ink on the paper. But the facility, how close is it going to be to your homes?
Well, there's
Have you seen site plans and
we
things
have.
like
So
that?
it's literally directly behind 3 homes that are on Emerson Lane.
Okay.
It's about it's a couple of hundred feet from the border of my backyard.
Okay. So have they made any provisions for a buffer, for leaving up some of the old growth trees, for putting in any sort of environmental buffer between those homes and where either their property line begins or their parking lot or their,
Well,
has anything like that been proposed?
Well, to their credit, they followed all of the rules that the state and the county and Warren Township have for how much coverage they have and where the buildings are placed, and they have to build a sump in order to approximate the additional runoff and where that goes. But they plan on having the field. There's a field if you ever go on Hillcrest Lane and make a left-hand turn onto Emerson.
Okay.
On the right-hand side, there's a field. It's an old farm field. It's laid fallow. There's also an old abandoned house over there as well. And they plan on using that for parking for when they have large meets. And literally that could be hundreds of cars that you could potentially fit there. They intend on having, at least the last site plan that I saw, intended on having an entrance on Hillcrest that would go behind the building, and so all of these cars would come right toward my house and and be parking right through the small grove of trees that's supposed to be the buffer between the parking lot.
It'll end up being a parking lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, very good point. And I want to commend you for your diligence in looking at all of the information rather than just saying this is our position. So I want to commend you for that.
Oh, thank you very much.
So you had mentioned earlier something about the sewage, and again, I don't live in that part of town. It's my understanding that that parcel of land, regardless of what goes there, the sewage needs to come to Berkeley Heights.
Correct.
Because that's just the way it was designed, developed, agreed upon, who knows when. So what's the big deal? The sewage has got to come to Berkeley Heights anyway.
Right, except that you're talking about the chlorinated water from 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools that they intend on building there, which is significantly more water and certainly more treated water than you would have from just normal household use. You could have 13 or 14 homes there that they had intended on building when I moved in to the neighborhood a few years ago, and every one of them can have a swimming pool, and you'd only have a minute fraction of the amount of water that you're talking about being in the pool.
So it's the volume that's a consideration
here. Correct.
Here.
That is a huge consideration for Berkeley Heights. And I'd also have to mention too that Berkeley Heights has already spent over $100,000 on fighting the legal cases involved with this. So the BAC has sued Berkeley Heights. Berkeley Heights has defended itself. That costs a lot of money. The election on May 7th is going to cost the taxpayers $30,000, and the benefit monetarily for the taxpayers of Berkeley Heights is very small. You're talking about $6,000 or $7,000 a year in sewage treatment. So by higher math, you're talking about more than a decade in order to recoup that cost just from normal operations. And they claim that there's a $80,000 or $90,000 connection fee, but there's costs with that connection fee as well. There's different things that have to occur at the sewage treatment plant. I'm not an engineer and I don't work at the sewage treatment plant, so I don't understand all of the ins and outs, but clearly there's a reason why Berkeley Heights charges those connection fees, and that's because there is a cost that's borne by the town and therefore by the taxpayers.
So that you lost me a little bit there. That $80,000 cost that may or may not occur, that is whose responsibility? The people that are sending the water in? Because I know we take sewage from other towns like Long Hill, for example. I know we take their sewage. So would that be Long Hill's cost, or would that still be Berkeley Heights' cost?
Well, the way that I understand it, it's the builder. So, for example, when the homes at Pulte were built, the builder had to pay the connection fee to the Township of Berkeley Heights for them to connect, and that's a one-time fee. And again, Berkeley Heights charges that fee because there's a cost involved. So our opposition has said, oh, well, you're going to get $85,000 and then you're going to get $7,000 a year. This is, great revenue, except there's cost to all this. There's a reason why it's charged. There's a reason why our tax bills are what they are if you live in Berkeley Heights, because part of that is payment for our sewage that goes into the sewage treatment plant.
Got it. So what other concerns or are there other concerns that the Stop the BAC Neighborhood Committee has? You know, we've talked a little bit about the physical plant, the proximity to the houses, the sewage things. Have we missed anything?
Yeah, well, those are the primary ones. I think the fact that we're holding a referendum that the people is both good and bad. I think it's great. I have an ancestor who fought in the American Revolution, and the fact is, I love the fact that we can vote on things like this. However, I think that we should be voting on something that's for the general public good, and I think that's really what the referendum law that the state of New Jersey has passed is designed for. It's not designed for a private enterprise, which this is. This is a commercial enterprise. The Zoning Board of Warren has even stated as much. This is a commercial enterprise that's attempting to use a law that was supposed to be designed for the public good in order to basically help a members-only private private function. It's not like we're building a community pool here. Matter of fact, if it was an outdoor community pool that was open sunset to sunrise, that was you know, only open from June till the end of August, I'd probably be all for it because I would just walk through my backyard and go there. But
Well,
the fact
maybe
is,
that's
this
the answer.
isn't.
Maybe that's the answer. Maybe we should take one of those pools, make it an open pool to the public. No, we're just having some fun with you, Mr. Jersey. But anyway, all right, a lot of interesting information. Now, that's a go. May 7th is a go. We're definitely on the ballot for the special election.
I've already voted. In fact, you can vote absentee right now. You can go to the county website. You can go to our website, stopthebac.com. Excuse me, stopthebac.org, and you'll see links to the absentee voter registration form, and just vote. And we urge everyone again to vote no on May 7th because we want to keep our taxes low.
Okay. Well, anything else you want to say, or is that pretty much your pitch?
I love the show, and I'm glad I was able to be on it.
Well, that was great. Ira, come on back. Give me a pitch again. Well, the show's not about me. It is about getting your word out. Spotlight on the Berkeley Heights is about sharing information. And I'm glad you contacted me because we do want to give out the information so people can make informed decisions. So May 7th is the election. Inform yourself. We got some things going on in town. A lot of great points. Is it really in our best interest? Is it not in our best interest? You know it's not in the best interest of the people in your neck of the woods.
That's right.
You know, we can understand that. That's kind of the no-brainer. But there's a lot of different layers here. And we really appreciate your time and giving us that information.
Thank you, Dr. Don.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, reminding you that Spotlight on Berkeley Heights is about the community. If you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, email me, drdefabio@aol.com, and we look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.
Spotlight on Berkeley Heights is provided by funding from DeFabio Chiropractic, where integrity, thoroughness, and a friendly staff have been servicing the community since 1985. DeFabio Chiropractic is where an accurate diagnosis leads to rapid pain relief and better function. Located on Springfield Avenue in Berkeley Heights, it's the natural choice for your healthcare needs.